Hey guys, Everything NFL here, and today I am bringing you my mock draft 2.0 that I promised would be coming this week. I spent a lot of time and effort putting this video together, pretty much all of last night and some of this morning. Was working on this video, and in my opinion, it's come out pretty well. So I hope you guys enjoy. With no messing about, let's get right into it. And with the first pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select Joe Burrow, a quarterback-needy team, was fantastic last season, 60 touchdowns in one season for college, and only 6 interceptions and over 5,000 yards. Incredible stats. And he's from Ohio. What more can the Cincinnati Bengals ask for? He will be the #1 pick. Number 2, the Washington Redskins select Chase Young, defensive end out of Ohio State. Once in a generation, can't miss talent, best player in the class, and definitely will upgrade that Redskins defense also almost immediately as soon as he comes onto the team. 16.5 sacks last season, phenomenal, should translate amazingly to the NFL level. At number 3, I have the Detroit Lions selecting Jeffrey Okudah, cornerback out of Ohio State. He's a lockdown corner who will come in and replace Darius Slay almost straight away. Fantastic at reading the game, amazing ball skills. Eye for the ball as well is sensational. Built in a lab to play cornerback. He will go to the Detroit Lions. Although this is a no-trade mock draft, there will be trades. I think the Detroit Lions are one of the teams that will look to trade down in this position. At number 4, we have the New York Giants taking Mekhi Becton, offensive tackle out of Louisville. Another team I could see trading down, but he's 6'7", 268, huge guy, powerful, strong, needs to work on his footwork a bit, but at tackle is a phenomenal talent, and he will provide a lot of help in protecting Daniel Jones in the 2020 season, and he's the type of tackle and athlete that Dave Gettleman will fall in love with and will take him at number 4. You could debate this to be Tristan Wirfs, Jedrick Wills, even Andrew Thomas you could debate number 4. At number 5, the Miami Dolphins will take quarterback out of Alabama, Tua Tagovailoa. As long as the medical clears, which it has, he was going to be a Dolphin, and that's what I think is going to happen. I think he will be a Miami Dolphin come the end of April. He's a future superstar in the league and is the key piece to the Miami Dolphins rebuild. He's the key piece for us to be able to push ourselves back into Super Bowl contention and be contenders in 2020 and the years forward. It's going to be very exciting if Tua Tagovailoa falls to us. And number 6, the Los Angeles Chargers take Justin Herbert, quarterback out of Oregon. The team seemingly had no interest in Jameis Winston or Cam Newton, and I really find it hard to believe that they will go into 2020 with just Tyrod Taylor, having no competition. Herbert goes over Love in this position, and I think it is a really easy decision for the Chargers to take Justin Herbert, even though I'm not as high on Herbert as others are. At number 7, I have the Carolina Panthers selecting linebacker out of Clemson, Isaiah Simmons. Do-it-all defensive talent. You can play anywhere on the defensive line. Will slide straight in, or not in the defensive line, but on the defense in general. Will slide straight in and replace the recently retired All-Pro Luke Kuechly. But he's got some big boots to fill, so, pardon me, we'll have to wait and see what happens on that. At number 8, the Arizona Cardinals take Tristan Wirfs, offensive tackle out of Iowa. He's a surefire, solid Week 1 starter, will play right tackle for the team. He can easily be debated as the best tackle in this class. The team wants to protect Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray's now got the weapons with DeAndre Hopkins, Christian Kirk, Larry Fitzgerald, Kenyon Drake at running back. They are working on that offensive line. Tristan Wirfs, this Arizona offense could be ready to do big things in 2020. At number 9, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars selecting one of my favourite players in the entire class, Derek Brown, defensive tackle out of Auburn. My favourite player in the class, like I said, can do everything on the defensive line, pass rush, run stop, and will be a steal if he's available at number 9. And number 10 for the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns will be getting, in my opinion, Andrew Thomas, offensive tackle out of Georgia. Solid starter, still needs a little bit of work on his sloppiness, but would be amazing on that team. Will play at left tackle on the opposite side to free agent acquisition Jack Conklin, who they got on a 3-year deal worth around 41 million or something. I think that's a fantastic signing. This Browns offensive line has gone from bottom 5 to possibly top 10 in the space of 2 picks. At number 11, the New York Jets, I have them selecting Jedrick Wills, offensive tackle out of Alabama. If they want to get the best out of Sam Darnold, they need to protect him. Personally, I don't rate Sam Darnold that highly, but if they want to get the best out of Sam Darnold, they need to protect him, and they get that in Tua's former blindside protector at Alabama, because Tua was a lefty, and he did a fantastic job protecting him and helped Alabama to a national championship title. At number 12, I have the Las Vegas Raiders selecting CeeDee Lamb, wide receiver out of Oklahoma. If the Raiders still believe in Derek Carr, which personally I don't, which is why they've signed Marcus Mariota to compete, then they need to get him another weapon, and they do that in Oklahoma, wide receiver CeeDee Lamb, who will instantly play well in a John Gruden system. He's quick, fantastic ball skills, fantastic separation, able to read the game very well, and able to find the end zone a lot, like he did with Oklahoma. At number 13, I have the San Francisco 49ers taking Henry Ruggs, wide receiver out of Alabama. Will be a young talent to put alongside Deebo Samuel and help replace Emmanuel Sanders, who left the San Francisco 49ers to move to the New Orleans Saints. The reason I think he'll go into that system, he's a speedster, that's what they need. They need a deep ball threat because they've already got Deebo Samuel who can play on the inside, who's also a deep ball threat. But they do run a lot of cross plays with Deebo Samuel, and I think Henry Ruggs will be a perfect weapon to burn out those cornerbacks and get up the field. At number 14, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers selecting Javon Kinlaw. Could easily see them taking a tackle here, but I think they add another defensive line weapon to go next to Vita Vea. They could have the surprisingly good defensive line, as my opinion. Vita Vea is one of the best nose tackles in football right now, and Javon Kinlaw next to him as a 3-4 end would be amazing. At number 15, I have the Denver Broncos selecting Jerry Jeudy, wide receiver out of Alabama. The Broncos are laughing at the opportunity of getting Jerry Jeudy at number 15. They can't believe he's fallen to them. If he falls to 15, they take him. He will play right alongside Courtland Sutton and give Drew Lock another weapon. The Broncos offense is all of a sudden looking pretty scary going into 2020. At number 16, I have the Atlanta Falcons selecting CJ Henderson, cornerback out of Florida. A perfect young cornerback to fit into that Atlanta scheme and replace Desmond Trufant. They need another corner who will go with youngsters Isaiah Oliver and Kendall Sheffield. And in my opinion, he is an absolute steal at 16. I could easily see the Falcons trading up possibly to get CJ Henderson to make sure he doesn't go off the board. He has improved a lot over this draft process, and teams are falling in love with CJ Henderson out of Florida. He's going to be a fantastic talent on the NFL level, and I think he will come in and be better than Desmond Trufant. Say what you want, I think he will do that. At number 17, I have the Dallas Cowboys selecting K'Lavon Chaisson out of LSU, defensive end, can play edge, or is an edge to defensive end. He's a pure edge threat that will fill the hole left by Robert Quinn after he moved to a 5-year, $70 million deal with the Chicago Bears. Once again, he's a steal at 17 who could go earlier. Quite a raw talent with all the tools to succeed at the NFL level. 6.5 sacks at the college level for LSU, and was a key piece in helping them to the national championship title. At number 18, I have the Dolphins taking Joshua Jones, offensive tackle out of Houston. A raw talent with a ton of upside, needs to clean up his footwork to be a viable option at the next level, but will take a lot of work to see if he can translate his skills to the NFL. He's one of those hit or miss tackle prospects. If you get the best Josh Jones, you're getting an insane player. But if you get the sloppiness and the not so out there skills, he needs to improve his handwork and footwork to mirror his opponents. Once he does that and gets all those skills down, he could be phenomenal in that Miami Dolphins offensive line. At number 19, I have the Las Vegas Raiders with their second pick in the draft, taking Christian Fulton, cornerback out of LSU. Solid option to add to a very weak cornerback group that has room to develop. Won't be a superstar, but a solid option nonetheless, who performed well at LSU. They need a cornerback. They can't just go into next season with Trayvon Mullen as their number one. They need someone else to go with him. Could also possibly see them trading or signing a more experienced cornerback. At number 20, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars selecting Xavier McKinney, safety out of Alabama. He's a do-it-all safety who will come in and fill a hole at free safety and has even taken snaps at middle linebacker for Alabama. The Jags jump at the chance to select him at 20. I think, personally, Xavier McKinney is the best safety in this class. I think he will come into Jacksonville and be amazing right out the gate, and will play alongside Harrison, who plays strong safety. He will play free safety and instantly upgrade that defensive backs group. At 21, nothing changes here. I have the Philadelphia Eagles selecting Justin Jefferson, wide receiver out of LSU. Was Joe Burrow's number one weapon and receiving choice in LSU's 2019-2020 National Championship winning season. He could instantly come in and be their number one receiver from day one. Fantastic ball skills, and should excel with Carson Wentz throwing him the ball. If he excelled with Joe Burrow, he will excel with Carson Wentz. He had about 15 touchdowns, over 1,600 yards or something last season. Unreal. Amazing stats. The Eagles jump at the chance to select Justin Jefferson, who is my number 4 wide receiver in the class. At number 22, I have the Minnesota Vikings selecting Jeff Gladney, cornerback out of TCU. Risen up the draft board through this whole process. They need a younger option to replace Xavier Rhodes, who is now at the Colts, and Trey Waynes, who just signed a big deal to go to the Cincinnati Bengals. He's got great ball skills, amazing at reading the game and preventing separation. He's still young, needs a lot of work. He's a raw talent, but if the Minnesota Vikings get him going, they're completely revamping their defense. If Jeff Gladney gets going in that Minnesota scheme, could be amazing. At number 23, I have the New England Patriots selecting Jordan Love, quarterback out of Utah State. With TB12 gone, the Patriots have a huge hole at quarterback, and they jump at the chance to get a young quarterback in Love. Boom or bust prospect, but he struggled in a Utah State offense with no playmakers, but he could thrive in an offense that is catered to him and to his specialties, and give him some weapons to play with. If he gets some good weapons, he could go off. He could be the next Patrick Mahomes. He could be amazing. But like I said, huge boom or bust prospect, high risk prospect. But if you take him, you have to work with him, and you've got to build your team around him, or you will not get the best Jordan Love. And number 24, I have the New Orleans Saints selecting Patrick Queen, middle linebacker out of LSU. 1 year starter with a lot of upside, 4.5 speed, which is exceptional for a middle linebacker. His ability to cover running backs and tight ends is insane. A great pick at 24 for New Orleans. They need a linebacker to go with Demario Davis and Alex Anzalone. Kiko Alonso isn't going to do it next season. If they get Patrick Queen, he could possibly play day one. He's got to play well in training camp. If he plays well in training camp, he will play week 1. And I think a steal at 24 for the New Orleans Saints. At 25, the Minnesota Vikings are back on the clock. I have them selecting Jalen Reagor, wide receiver out of TCU, their second pick out of TCU. They had a speedy wideout who can hopefully fill the shoes of recently departed Stephon Diggs, who was traded to the Buffalo Bills for a first-round pick and some late-round picks. The Vikings are spoiled for choice with wide receivers available at 25, with the likes of T. Higgins, Denzel Mims, Laviska Shenault, KJ Hamler, all still on the board, but they decided to go with the man out of TCU, Jalen Reagor. At number 26, I have the Miami Dolphins selecting Grant Delpit, safety out of LSU. Some tackling issues, but more upside than downside. A pure zone safety, lacks man ability. If he performs, the Dolphins are laughing with getting Delpit at 26, but he has got some issues in tackling and his sloppiness. Can read the game well, but if he improves his awareness and improves his tackling and being able to play, he's not a box safety, like I said, he's a zone safety, but if he improves and cleans up on all his mistakes and bad traits and flaws, he will be an amazing safety at the NFL level. At number 27, I have the Seattle Seahawks selecting Zach Bond, edge out of Wisconsin. Boom or bust prospect, twitchy and explosive, a powerful tackler with the speed to match running backs and tight ends, commits to plays too early, making him readable and predictable, but a good talent nonetheless. If there's any coach that's going to get the best out of an edge, it will be Pete Carroll. They need an edge. They missed on LJ Collier last year, who turned out to not be a very good. They haven't replaced Frank Clark, and I think they get a possible Frank Clark replacement here in Zach Bond. At number 28, the Baltimore Ravens select Kenneth Murray, linebacker out of Oklahoma, very decisive and willing to take chances, can spy, blitz or rush off the edge on a passing play. Fantastic get off and burst. Needs to work on his patience and his desire to make plays, clouds his judgment on angles. He is always looking to make a big play. He needs to change that at the NFL level, otherwise he won't succeed. But if he learns to be patient and control himself and not always go for the bigger plays and work on what he wants to do and work on the best stats that he can do, he will be a solid pick here at 28 for the Baltimore Ravens. At 29, I have the Tennessee Titans selecting Neville Gallimore, defensive tackle out of Oklahoma. Strong coming at the lineman, able to get past the lineman after getting under the edge. Never content, always looking for work. Plays too tall, making him easier for blockers to handle. Sorry about that. Hot and cold at countering blocks. Sometimes he'll get to the block and he'll work and work and work. Sometimes he gets to the block. If he gets blocked, he stays blocked. And that's something he's got to work on at the NFL level. At number 30, I have the Green Bay Packers selecting Denzel Mims, wide receiver out of Baylor. Flew up the draft boards over the combine and scouting process. Type of receiver that will slide straight into Matt LaFleur's offense. You look at him, he's like, he'll be a lethal duo with Davante Adams if he stays on form all the time. Davante Adams is a top 10 wide receiver in the league, could argue top 5, and put Denzel Mims next to him because he's been struggling with the options he's had over the last few seasons. He's had Marquez Valdes-Scantling, who's not very good, Equanimous St. Brown, who also isn't very good, but put Denzel Mims on there. You've got a young weapon to go with Aaron Rodgers next to Davante Adams. At number 31, I had the San Francisco 49ers selecting Cesar Ruiz, interior offensive lineman out of Michigan. Excellent snap-to-step quickness, fantastic at reading opponents and matching hands and feet to mirror anyone in front of him. Needs work on steering blocks, but could have trouble against NFL bull rushes. The thing is, if he's going to play guard or centre, he's played both at Michigan. If he's going to play guard, then he will most likely replace like Laken Tomlinson. But they need help in the centre of the offensive line because Weston Richburg, Laken Tomlinson, and etc. aren't going to get the job done. If Cesar Ruiz comes in and works on his bad things, you can kind of compare him to Josh Jones. Josh Jones to the Dolphins at 18. He needs a lot of work. Cesar Ruiz to the 49ers at 31. He also needs a lot of work. But if they get all those troubles down and get his proper skill set down so he's constantly playing to his skill set, it's a steal at 31. At 32, the Kansas City Chiefs selected DeAndre Swift, running back out of Georgia. Chiefs are laughing at the chance to select the best running back in the class in DeAndre Swift. Dynamic runner who will add another dimension to the offense that is already insanely good with Patrick Mahomes and will also take the workload off of the back of Patrick Mahomes. So he's always got a good running back there and he will be a fantastic 1-2 punch with Damian Williams. And that's it. That's the end of my mock draft 2.0. If you guys have a mock draft that you want to show me or an opinion on any of these choices, what you would change or what would happen. I know there's going to be trades, so this isn't what's going to happen. This is just what I think is going to happen. There will be trades on the day, like I think the Lions, Giants could move down, the Chargers and the Dolphins could move up. Even the Buccaneers could move up into the top 10. We don't know that yet. But if you guys enjoyed, don't forget to like and subscribe and leave some comments. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. And I'll be back tomorrow with more NFL content. See you later, guys.